Welcome to my humble little workshop where today you will be shadowing me as I show you what I'm working on and what a day in my workshop looks like. So today I'm working on a very special commission for a lovely lady that I met in London about a year ago now, and she contacted me and she wanted me to make her this earpiece for her wedding day. Unfortunately, being in times of pandemic, her wedding has been postponed. However, we are still maintaining the original deadlines so that she can get it and put it away ready for next year. Honestly, I am so excited to get started with this commission. I have just been waiting for the go-ahead from my client, and I am so excited to be making it for her. She's an absolutely lovely person, but not only that, she's an absolutely stunning woman. She's got the most amazing skin and hair and really funky style, so I can really see this piece looking absolutely amazing on her. So I can't wait to get started and make this for her special day. So before I get started with my job, the first thing that I need to do is take care of this lion's mane so it doesn't get caught in everything that I'm doing. So I do that by using my trusty hair chopstick. If you've not seen my previous videos on how to use a hair chopstick and how to put your hair up with a hair chopstick, then check out the link down below and it will show you a tutorial on how to do it and different ways to do it. But for me, it is an everyday occurrence because it just pins my hair back nice and tight, and it means that I can crack on with my job without any stragglers getting in the way and without getting caught up in my machinery, which could be very dangerous. So now that I've got it all nicely tied back, I can crack on with my job. Hi, my name is Lorna Romanenghi, and I am a jewellery designer and maker. My work has been exhibited internationally and has won numerous awards along the way. Here, on my channel, I will take you by the hand, giving you VIP access to behind the scenes of the jewellery world, so you can feel more confident and educated when buying, commissioning, or simply appreciating jewellery. To make sure you don't miss out on any new content, click the subscribe button below. So the first thing I need to do is take stock of what I'm doing and look at the measurements that I took last time I saw her so that I'm making an accurate piece of jewellery. So I always like to meet up with my clients before I start the job and make sure that I take as many measurements as I possibly can. I believe this is the best way all round because I can straight away do a really accurate job, and also it saves you time as my client that we're not going backwards and forwards of resizing things and getting things right after it's been done, and that can sometimes get tricky in the making side of things as well, and also it delays your gratification of actually being able to wear this piece of jewellery that you've been excited about wearing for a while now. So I just try and get it right first time, and yes, there may be some little tweaks or little adjustments that may need to be done, but I try and avoid that whenever possible. So I try and take as many measurements as I can before I actually get started with the project. So I created a little mock-up of the ear cuff itself to make sure that all the measurements were correct and also that it fit comfortably. I just used aluminium wire because it's very moldable, but it also keeps its shape quite well. So I'm actually using this as my template to make the ear cuff itself. So I'm now going to use this and draw out the shape and get it exactly to the same dimensions, and then I'm going to use it as a base to carve it out in wax. I'm actually trying something a bit different from the first design that I made. When I made this one, I actually just used squared wire, bent it into shape. At that time I measured for my ear, so I bent it into the shape of my ear and it worked perfectly for that. However, I want to try something a bit different this time because I actually, having worked more in wax now and having got a little bit of a taste for it, I've realised that there are certain things that I can do in wax that I can't really do in metal. Well, I can, but it just would take a long time. So I'm going to be carving it in wax, and I'm going to be giving it a little bit more of an intricate weave on the actual earpiece itself, and I think it would tie it really well in with the rest of the design that I had done. And I realized this is a part that's behind the ear, so you don't really see it that much. It's mainly going to be the droplets at the front and the droplets that come down that will be seen. But I believe that even the parts that aren't necessarily seen should still be nice. So I'm just using a scrap bit of paper, and I'm just going to be drawing it out to get the exact measurements. So I'm just going to give it a loop exactly where it falls. I'm trying not to bend the piece too much because I want to then use it to get the three-dimensionality from it, but I still need to get the flat version first. And once I've got it in metal, then I can adjust and I can bend it back, because one thing that you do get in metal, you do get a certain amount of flexibility with it. So you can then bend it into shape, you can elongate it a bit, you can shorten it, you can bend it down, you can mold it. So yeah, for now in wax, it's not going to have this three-dimensionality which goes around the ear, but it will just be a flat piece. And then when it comes back from the casting, I will be making it three-dimensional. So now that I've got this, I want to establish a kind of depth for it. So I'm going to go for 3mm, I think. I'm just going to double check what that looks like because I need to always see it visually. I'm actually going to go 2mm, but then when I'm piercing it out, I'll go abundant so that then I can file it down. You always want to have more rather than less. So this is it drawn out. Sorry about all the noises. And this is the prototype. So I'll just be cutting this piece out, sticking it onto the wax, and then piercing it out. So I've just gone to get my wax, and I've decided I think I'm going to try carving it in blue wax, because blue wax as opposed to green wax is a bit more flexible. And I've got a feeling that even though this piece is flat, because it's going to be so fine, I still want to have a little bit of flexibility with it so that it doesn't snap. And I may be wrong, it may be that the green wax is better for this job, but I'm going to go with my gut feeling on this one and try it with the blue wax. So I'll put that to one side. However, I've just seen that this piece is actually bigger than the slices of blue wax that I have. So I'm just going to have to improvise a little bit, and I'm actually going to put two together and pierce it out over two and then join the parts together. So now that I've got it attached, and hopefully that's nicely securely on, I'll try to rub it down as much as I can. I usually use glue or double-sided tape for this job, but I do not have any. So I am going to be working with what I've got. So now that I've got it all stuck down nice and securely, I'm now going to pierce it out with my trusty saw. And I will be doing it, I think, with the wood saw blade. And this just cuts through it a lot faster, but it means that I really have to keep the line to a wide berth because it does eat a lot of the wax and I don't want to get it any smaller. So I'll be using this, but giving the line a wide berth, and I'm not going to lie to you, when it's finished, it won't look amazing. It will look very rough. But that's like anything in the jewellery industry or the art industry or anything. It's got to go through the ugly stage before it gets to the beautiful stage. So I've now pierced it out. It seems to have worked perfectly. As you can see, it is very rough. I need to merge those two parts together so it's not a dangling part. But yes, as all in all, it's worked really nicely. I now just need to file it because it is at a slight angle and just get it nicely put together so that then I can start doing a more intricate carving all around the ear cuff itself. So now that I've given it its first round of filing and just got it a bit more neat and a bit more close to the size that I want it for the end, I am now going to join on the two pieces that I carved before to give me the full earpiece, and then I can carry on filing and sanding down and continuing with the carving. So to do this job, I will be using a mixture of my wax pen, which I've used in my previous videos. So if you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll know how I use this. And I will be using it in combination because I'm attaching a big section. It needs a lot of heat and it needs to be joined all the way through, because otherwise it's going to be a weak join and it's just going to crack again while I work. That already might be the case as I go on, and I may need to fix it as I go because I will be putting it under a certain amount of stress. But I'm going to try joining it anyway for now. But I'll be using a carving implement as well as my torch to heat up the carving implement and actually melt the wax so it joins together. Now, to me, that looks like a nice solid join. Now there's this little bit at the back in which I can still see the join, and I think it is still secure all the way through, but I don't want to risk that join being my undoing. So I'm just going to secure it with my wax pen. Now my next job, I quite like the thickness that it's gone now. It's quite a nice even thickness the whole way around. I'll be taking a little bit of extra off once I've done the next part, but the thing that I don't like so much is the width of it. So it's a little bit too thick for my liking, so I'm just going to bring it down a bit, and I'm just going to be sanding down the top and bottom to also get rid of these ridges that come with the wax. So I'm just going to be sanding it down on either side, and hopefully that'll give me a nice thin edge, but not too thin obviously, that then it will make it difficult to cast, but it'll make it nice and thin so that when this is in metal it won't be too heavy on the ear. So now that I've got it all sanded and filed, I've got it to a point where I'm actually quite happy with it for today. I may still need to sand it down further in the next part of the process, but for now I'm actually just going to put it to one side to avoid overworking it and then possibly ruining it. So I'm going to put it to one side for today and continue with it tomorrow, but I will carry on videoing the process tomorrow, and I'll gradually upload it so that you can see how this commission evolves to the finished piece. Tomorrow I will be looking at attaching certain parts to this earpiece and also doing an intricate carving along the sides. So if you're interested to see how this progresses, then tune in the next episode. So if you don't want to miss out on seeing how this progresses, then why not subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to click the little notification button so that you stay up to date with all my latest releases. If you have any comments or any questions, then please just leave them in the comments box down below. I'm always happy to hear from you. However, if you would like to talk to me more privately, then please write to me on my social media at Lorna Design or through my website at lornaromanenghi.com, and I'm always happy to hear from you. It's been so lovely having you here in my workshop. I hope to see you here again very soon.